Hello guys, and we're back. We have been fond of doing some deck tech now for that of the previews for the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and now we have this deck which we call this one updated. Izzet spells for the Lost Caverns. And so what would be our new component here? In particular, we can highlight the card, which is the legendary god Odger Patik, Deepest Epoch. It's like an eel god, but why it is relevant in this build, we're going to have to discuss in a while. But if you are new yet for this channel, you can just welcome us, as we can have more of the standard deck text as for every new set that is previewed in the main Wizards of the Coast website and for other reference MTG sites. We can also have to discuss the card potentials, as you can see in the previous video. But for today's setup, we're just going to do some short update for the Izzet spells with these cards, or probably we have two particular cards in the new build, and which just still open for criticism or any other comment suggestions as we can improve this one. So just a quick rundown. We have 14 creatures, 23 instants, and 23 lands. That's basically it for this deck. As to why this is called as the Izzet spell, because of setting up value out of revealing cards or casting this instance while drawing cards, also getting rid of your opponent's creatures and the like. So that's pretty much the theme of the blue-red deck, and we're going to again do a quick rundown with if you're not yet familiar, then of course we can still have this one as our primary land or one drop for this build, which is the Delver of Secrets. So we have now this ability that it is just going to reveal the top card of the library, and if it is the instant or sorcery card that is revealed, you can transform this one as to the Insectile Aberration, which is a 3/2 flyer and quite a good clock as early as turn 2. So to make sure we can cast this one by turn 1, we have to have 4 copies of this in the deck. So next up is the 2-drop Ledger Shredder. This is from Streets of Nyakapena. This is just a 1/3 flyer, but its ability to get you to draw a card equals of this Connive, and that whenever a player casts their second spell each turn. So casting this one will trigger also to that of your opponent whenever you cast their second spell. But the good thing is that it is still a good 2-drop, wherein you can just Connive to somewhat curve out your hand or get rid of your unnecessary lands, and having also a good threat of the flyer. So again, we make sure that we have 3 copies of this in the deck so that we can as early as turn 2 cast it. And also we have 2 copies of Third Path Iconoclast. This is another support creature that has benefits of creating this swarm of 1/1 colorless artifact creature token whenever you cast an creature spell. So that's 2 copies, given that also with the Odger's ability of having to rebound your spells or your instant spells in particular, you can still also trigger that of the Third Path Iconoclast ability. So again, we do check what Odger Patik's full ability is. Aside from giving them rebound whenever you cast an instant spell from your hand, is that unit dice will return to the battlefield top and transform with 3 time counters. So the 3 time counters makes it this one as a Temple of Cyclical Time, wherein adding 1 blue mana would remove a counter from the temple, but at the same time you can still be able to pay 3 and tap, transform it back into Odgel. But the only drawback here is that you would need to consume all of these time counters first. So adding mana would be your option here to remove those time counters. So the only drawback again is that you can only activate this one as a sorcery speed. So activating this again will flip this back to Odger Patik, which is another 4/3 flyer that is also added as a threat to your lineup, along with of course the Ledger Shredder and the Delver of Secrets that's flip into Insectile Aberration. And the last creature that I consider to add in this build is a lone copy of the Hearth Elemental. This would also good you in certain situations draw effect, because its ability that's Stoke Genius, you can discard your hand and then draw 2 cards. And after the adventure, you can still cast this one, but the bonus is that it would cost X less to cast, given the X is the number of cards in your graveyard that are instants, sorcery, and or have an adventure. So this would cost basically lesser, and having also a 4/5 body on the ground to block off most creatures in this format. And now for our instance, since we have a whole lot of combination of cards here. So first off, we go with the card draw effects. We have 4 considers. So this is still a good card draw to also feed your graveyard and also filter out your lands or extra non-necessary spells. And we also have a copy of Impulse, which can also dig out any relevant answer provided in your deck, and also have you to get a creature. For example, if there are situations wherein you need to dig for an Odger or a Ledger Shredder from your top 4 cards of the library. And along with it are 2 copies of Make Disappear. That's the only main deck counter in the deck, which I think would only be used in certain dire situations. And along with it is the new card, Confounding Riddle. So this is a 3 to cast instant, which you can choose one to look at the top 4 cards in the library and put it in your hand. So that's an impulse effect, and also a good counter spell with a counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. So that is also another good option here for you to have either your impulse or you go with a convolute. I think this is a convolute ability, counter target spell unless its controller pays 4. So that with said, we have also 4 copies of Quick Study. So this is just an instant divination wherein it works well with object because of its ability that can be rebounded, and you will make sure that you can refill your hand with 2 cards, and with the bonus rebound effect you can have 2 more cards drawn to your hand. So that with the setup, we have a variety of spot removals for red, which can also be used to just deal the final damage if needed. So we have 3 copies of Play with Fire. The good thing is that you can also have this one as a scribe, which means that you can also filter your top card. We have a copy of Torch to the Tower for those creatures that would need to be exiled instead of dealing them damage that would make them go to the graveyard. It also a bonus if you have to bargain this or sacrifice a token, you can be able to deal 3 damage to the permanent and you will scry 1. Along with that is 4 copies of Lightning Strike. So just a 2 to cast 3 damage to any target, but in any situations where you can have an online object, you can still rebound this for additional 3 damage. So basically a huge damage race spell if this one card is online. And last but not the least, for the spot removal is Turning Flame. I've chosen this one as an instant aside from the usual Nahiri's Warcrafting, because of Rending Flame is more particularly benefiting from the Odger ability of rebound, and can also deal with the Shouldred's ban before your draw step. So that is during upkeep you can still respond to deal 5 damage to that creature or planeswalker, and the bonus is that if it's a spirit that is dealt damage with, you can also deal additional 2 damage to that permanent's controller. And last but not the least are our setup for the lands. Since this is just typical blue-red, we just have the usual suspects here in the form of this Pain Lands, Shivan Reef. We have also 4 copies of Stormcarved Ghost, some of the channel lands as you can see here, and 3 copies of Restless Spire. I only chosen 3 copies because I would be able to just have this one as a desperate or additional attacker in some situations. So you don't need a turn 1 top land, because you would need to have a good setup to have a turn 1 Delver of Secrets as possible to your gameplay to be that of a good curve. And also we have some channel lands, Otawara Soin City, and Soken Sand, Crucible Defiance, and of course the basic lands of Mountain and Island, each in a total of 23 lands in the deck. The mana curve, let's check, it's just surprisingly 2.16 with a lot of mana value and 2 mana value. Color distribution is mostly blue, with blue is I think this is 29, red is 14, and producers are pretty much even. Blue is 20 with red is 17. And the only tokens in the deck, the shoulder token from the Iconoclast and Spirit token from the Second Sun Crucible of Defiance channel ability. So I guess that's pretty much it for this quick deck tech for Izzet spells. I'm pretty sure Odger will be that of a benefit for this. I think we can also see versions of 3 colors, maybe for a Grixis deck, or even for a let's say a Jeskai for white, with also having Odger Pack Patik as one of their awesome lineup in this deck build. So I guess that's pretty much it for this quick rundown of a deck tech for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. If you like to more of the channel, you can just click like, subscribe, and notifications on, so that we can be notified for future updates and new deck techs posted and uploaded. Again guys, thank you for checking this video, and see you on the next one.